How's it going out there in Twitch land, people? It looked like Sobos was right. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on here, so I hope y'all are doing well. I'm a little bit sore because I was doing dodgeball finals yesterday. We didn't win, but it is what it is. We won best snack table though, so boom. Anyway, how y'all living out there? What y'all drinking? How has it's the beginning of March basically. How'd your February go? I haven't seen y'all I think since January, so you know. Hey. Ooh, water with lemon, that sounds good. Maybe I'll go grab a Truly when we take our first quote-unquote scoring break. But you know the deal. We're here to play some good old quiz. We got 7 rounds for you. We already say someone else put exclamation point score sheet if you want to play along. And I know how much you hate Miss Robin, but if you guess that in round 2, you might get some points. You know, just saying. Anyway, that's the gist of it. I don't got much else to say, and it's been a while. That's about it. So yeah, let me know what your favorite pie and/or cake is in the chat, and then we'll get started with round number 1. My favorite pie is cheesecake, and my favorite cake is carrot cake. So yeah, carrot cake all day, baby. Now I really want to go to a cheesecake factory and get a cheesecake. But anyway. All right, I love all the things that I'm seeing. I'm seeing carrot cake, mint chocolate chip cream, chocolate Chicago deep dish pizza. I mean, you're not wrong. I didn't even bring up meat pies. I love a good meat pie though. I don't know. I digress. Maybe I'll take myself out to dinner tomorrow, go to Cheesecake Factory, and then go to GameWorks or something. Who knows? My favorite pie is 3.14. You my people. I get it. Nerds all around. Alrighty, folks. Let's bounce into round number 1. Round number 1 is called Tortured Poets Department because it's only 6 weeks until the new Tay-Tay album drops, y'all. Are you excited? I want to know what X's she's going to riff on next in her albums. Anyway, all the answers in this round can be made from letters in the word poets, and you won't have to use any of them more than once. She who not be named. What? I mean, we named Tay-Tay in this house. Tay-Tay's fine. Tay-Tay needs to stop with all the jet setting and all that stuff. But, you know, Tay-Tay. Anyway, I guess if we don't like billionaires, we don't like Tay-Tay either. Anyway, I digress. Question number 1. Drew Barrymore auditioned for Poltergeist as a 7-year-old, but quickly got cast in what other Spielberg film? You know what, Jer fan? I feel you too. I actually don't like most cakes. It's like carrot cake is the only cake that I really bang with, to be honest with you. I'll have other cakes when people make it, but whenever I'm in a place where it's like, oh, we got birthday cake. I guess ice cream cake is the other cake that I really mess with. But yeah, those two. Yeah, I can't think of any other cake that I'm just like, oh, I want it. You know. There, back home in Philadelphia, there used to be a guy named the Carrot Cake Man, and his cream cheese icing was Chef's Kiss. Anywho, moving on to question number 2. On no account should you wrap roast beef around your body's digit 3 petties, aka the middle. What? Yeah, Jerfat, that's why I said my favorite pie is cheesecake. Oh, it's a tart? It's a tart. What? Wait, cheesecake is a tart. What? I just learned something new today. You are a tart. I guess I can be sour sometimes, so that would make sense. Anyway, moving on to question number 3. Because it's made with mashed up basil and garlic, what green sauce gets its name from the Italian for crush? Now I want to say this when I have like a crush on someone. Like if I have a crush on them, should I make them this sauce? Be like, I have a crush on you. I made you this. What? But would it be wrong if I made this in a molcajete? Like would that be like too many cultures coming together at once? I guess it's only 2, but you know. Anyway, moving on to question number 4. Olympian Rachel Adams says to hold your hands like you're drinking a gallon of water for what volleyball move that comes right before a spike? Boston cream pie is a donut. I've been watching too much Survivor and my brain went to the dirtiest place. Like I feel wrong for just thinking that, but if you know, you know. So, yeah, also the new season of Survivor is out. It'd be a great American melting cocktail. Any chance y'all remember 1 through 3? Number 1 was basically Drew Barrymore got cast in another Spielberg film after auditioning for Poltergeist. Number 2 is your body's digit 3 petties is aka the middle what? And because it's made up of mashed up basil and garlic, what green sauce gets its name for the Italian for crush? What is that? What Survivor is about Boston cream fries? Oh no, I'm just thinking about the player Boston Rob, and he's married and he has kids. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, moving on to question number 5. Once under Spanish occupation, the Philippines are now the only country outside the Americas to use what currency name? My brain is dirty, y'all. Anyway. As my classic line, as I like to say, this is why you can't take me anywhere. Anyway. Now that you know where my dirty brain was going. Alrighty, let me see. Oh, and the person who just came in, I was asking folks what are their favorite cakes and pies. I'll still say my favorite pie is cheesecake, and my favorite cake is carrot cake. This is why we can't have nice things. It's the favorite thing. I figured where you were going. See, I knew somebody knew. I knew somebody I know. Oh, like, I didn't have to spell it out. But some people were like, what do you mean? What does that have to do with Survivor? Like, I was like, I don't know. It just does. Anyway. Moving on to question number 6. In 2022, some goofus paid about $40,000 for what small but crucial prop that featured in the final shot of Inception? Ooh, key lime pie. I do like key lime pie. Yeah, key lime pie. Like pies are where it's at for me. Like cakes, they're fine, but like, no, sweet potato pie, pecan pie, apple pie, blueberry pie, like pies just be throwing it down. Like, I don't know what it is about pies. Well, yeah. Alrighty, folks, we're moving on to our penultimate question, not including the bonus, of round number 1. According to Variety, what Ryan Murphy's show single-handedly raised the number of regular trans characters on TV by about 50%. Key lime tart. Oh no. Key lime tart. But you can probably buy a cameo though. Yeah, no, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is not the answer to that question. If it was, good God, that is good. Just nope. Alrighty, and finally, question number 8. The dog of kidlit icons Dick and Jane and the cat of nerd icon Data share what cliche name? Wait, banana cake is a banana bread with frosting? That seems legit, I guess. You know, banana bread do slap though. But I do love, like, has anybody actually like made a sandwich but banana bread? Like, because it's supposed to be bread, so you think we can make sandwiches out of it. But I've never eaten banana bread like bread. I don't know. Oh yeah, honey ham and banana bread. Oh, okay. Like, I was just thinking. It says it's bread. You want to frost his banana? Okay, all right. With that, let's move on to our first bonus question of the night, brought to you by the Eat to Drink Shop. Tonight, 5 lucky winners will get entered into our grand prize drawing by answering these questions. You do so by putting exclamation point the answer inside the chat. If the answer has multiple words, make sure you put them as one string, or else our computer will not know what the fuck you're talking about. Alrighty, I will say the question twice, and then your time to submit will start, and then you'll have up until I read the answer to question number 7 to submit. Alright, let's boogie on bounce over to the bonus question of round number 1. It's the first word in a chart topper by the Supremes and the whole title of a top 20 hit by the Spice Girls. Name that road sign. One more time, is the first word in a chart topper by the Supremes or the whole title of a top 20 hit by the Spice Girls. Name that road sign. It looks like folks are getting it right. So let's boogie on bounce over to your answers for round number 1. Tortured Poets Department. For question number 1, Drew Barrymore auditioned for Poltergeist and as a 7-year-old, but quickly got cast in E.T. For question number 2, on no account should you wrap roast beef around your body's digit 3 petties, aka the middle toe. For question number 3, because it's made with mashed up basil and garlic, the green sauce that gets its name from the Italian for crush is pesto. For question number 4, Olympian Rachel McAdams says to hold your hands like you're drinking a gallon of water for the volleyball move set or setting. For question number 5, once under Spanish occupation, the Philippines are now the only country outside the Americas to use what currency name? That would be peso or beso. Not pesos. Like, you know. Anyway. For question number 6, in 2022, some goofus paid about $40,000 for the small but crucial prop that featured in the final shot of Inception. That is the top. Or top totem, or whatever you want to call it. For question number 5, according to Variety, the Ryan Murphy show that single-handedly raised the number of regular trans characters on TV by 50% is Pose. And finally, for question number 8, the dog of kidlit icons Dick and Jane and the cat of nerd icon Data shared a cliche name of a spot. And finally, we're back to the bonus question. Hopefully everyone who wanted to enter got them in. Yes, Olympian Rachel McAdams. I will agree with you, Spaceman. I almost said that multiple times in my head. Anywho, your bonus question, once again, it's the first word in a chart topper by the Supremes or the whole title of a top 20 hit by the Spice Girls. That road sign is a stop. Round number 2 is called a Wonder Waltz because it's National Dance the Waltz Day. So all the songs in this round will be in waltz time. Name the titles and artists for a point apiece as usual.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill.
And I've been there before. That life's a bore, so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. Don't quit loving me, just start loving me. Oh, and babe, I'm fine with fire. Just to get close to you, could we burn something today? And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. I'm locked and loaded, completely focused. My mind is open. All that you got, skin to skin on my neck. Don't you stop, boy. Something about you. Trying hard to reach out, but when I tried to speak out, felt like no one could hear me. Wanted to belong here, but something felt so wrong here. So I pray.
Yeah, 'cause girl, you're perfect. You're always worth it, and you deserve it. The way you work it.
Concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill.
And I've been there before. That life's a bore, so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. Don't quit loving me, just start loving me. Oh, and babe, I'm fine with fire. Just to get close to you, could we burn something today? And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes.
I'm locked and loaded, completely focused. My mind is open. All that you got, skin and skin. Oh my God, don't you stop, boy. Something about you. Trying hard to reach out, but when I tried to speak out, felt like no one could hear me. Wanted to belong here, but something felt so wrong here. So I pray.
Yeah, 'cause girl, you're perfect. You're always worth it, and you deserve it. The way you work it.
Concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
Alrighty, folks, we're back with your round number 2 answers. I got my Truly, but because of the green screen, it'll probably just be kind of not green, but you know. So, your answer for round number 2, starting with question number 1.
There used to be a gray and tower.
That's Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
You became
Number 2 is If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys.
Some people want it all.
And back by popular demand, that's Love on the Brain by Rihanna.
Just to
Hey.
Thank
you. Number 4 is Piano Man by Billy Joel.
I'm locked and loaded.
Number 5 is Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande.
All that you got. Trying hard to reach out.
Question number 6 is Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson.
Like no one could hear me.
yeah.
Number 7 is Earned It by The Weeknd.
You're always worth it.
Then later
And number 8 is The Wreck of the Esmond Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot.
they'd been feeling.
I did try to give y'all a subtle hint that Rihanna was gonna be on round number 2. I used well, Rihanna's her middle name, Robin's her first name, so it's like, so I tried because y'all always being like, is it Rihanna? It's gotta be Rihanna at least once, and then it's not, and then I come back. Yeah, I did. I told her, I was like, in round number 2, you know how much I like Miss Robin, like, so, you know, like, I wasn't trying to give you, like, it flat out, but, you know, I tried. Anyway, we are heading on to round number 3 called Reading Gravity's Rainbow. So one of our writers was supposed to do a round on great literature, but he was hungover and had his kid do it instead. We'll give you a year of publication and a synopsis written by an 8-year-old. You tell us the title. Yeah, no, you know, her full name is Robin Rihanna Fenty. So now you know. Now you know. There you go. Next time it comes up in a quiz, you'll be there for it. Anywho, for question number 1 of round 3, the year is 1851. Boring. There was a cool whale on the cover, but I gave up after Call Me Ishmael. Watched Finding Nemo instead. GWD endorsing child labor. When you hear the editorial voice of these questions, you'll know darn well 8-year-olds didn't actually write this around. But like, anywho, moving on to question number 2. The year is 1818. I thought the zombie monster would be ripping arms off, but he just talked about some boring book called Paradise Lost and ran to the North Pole. The doctor should have tried to reanimate a better book. Like, what 8-year-old is this snarky? Like, I know, right? Right? like no shade on the round. I mean, I love it. I respect the swag, but ain't no way. No, we're not endorsing child labor. We're just endorsing snarkiness, as we do. Anyway, moving on to question number 3. The year is 1949. Scary book about the ancient past. Its title just means 40 years ago. Big Brother may be watching me, but I'd rather be watching a movie. Yeah. You know what? My friends be getting mad at me when I tell them this year, The Lion King turns 30 years old. I probably made y'all mad by telling you that too. But anyway, want to feel old? Yeah, no. But this one just it's like kicking me in the teeth. It's like, dang, that was 40 years ago. Oh crap. No, not the live action one. The cartoon one. It came out June 24th, 1994. Look it up. Anyway, moving on to question number 4 of round 3, reading Gravity's Rainbow. The year is 1915. Gregor Samsa is so whiny. Being a giant bug would be awesome. Next person who tries to give me cooties is getting tackled by a cockroach. Lion King just came out. Oh gosh. Hey. Yeah, the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yep. Oh, and I just learned from a TikTok the other day that the lead singer to Toto is also Adult Simba's singing voice. And Adult Simba's singing voice also did the theme song to Gummy Bears. And he also is John Williams' son. I know. Shocking. Anyway, moving on to question number 5. The year is 1813. Elizabeth, Jane, Mary, Catherine, Lydia. I couldn't keep any of the names straight. They should have named one of them T-Rex 9000 and given Mr. Darcy a jetpack. Then we'd have a book. I saw that reel on Face Talk. Yeah, I called it a TikTok, but I think I also saw it on Facebook too, because, you know, I am not one of the youths. Like, nope, no, I'm smack dab in that midlife crisis territory, so you know how it be. Yeah, I mean, like, I love the Gummy Bears theme song, and I love Toto. Like, who doesn't like Africa and Rosanna? Like, I don't know. I might go listen to Toto after this. Anyway, I digress. Moving on to question number 6. The year is 1951. This book is about a phony. You never saw such a phony in your life. Holden Caulfield smoking his ears off and talking about himself so everybody could hear and know how sharp he is. Yes, hold the line, too. Hold the line. Yo. Yeah, y'all might think this is blasphemous, but like Pitbull sampled Africa for a song, and the song is kind of okay. Like it does its thing. Like, excuse it for being on the Aquaman soundtrack, but you know, still kind of slaps a little bit, tiny bit. Anyway, move along to question number 7, your penultimate question in round 3. 1952 is the year. Worst supervillain book ever. And if no one could see me, I'd go wherever I want and steal cool stuff, not meditate on how one must wear metaphorical masks to conform to society as a black man. Like, this is when I read that round. I was like, okay, kid, are you like getting a doctorate at Harvard now? Like, sure. So what you're trying to say is that Donald Trump has the mind of an 8-year-old, which I would agree with, but yes. Wait, who is Adele Dazeem married to now? I knew she was married to Taye Diggs, but I think they broke up. But I don't know who she's married to now. Anyway, let me know. And I'll head on over to your final question, not including the bonus of round number 3, question number 8. The year is 1605. This guy is such a wimp. I'd destroy a windmill. Sancho should have brought some M80s. Load that sucker up and boom. Oh, Aaron Lohr, who played Dean Portman, one of the Bash brothers in D2, D3, The Mighty Ducks. It's the singing voice of Max in a Goofy movie. What? He has an 8-year-old would say to eat a windmill. I don't know. Do Gen Alpha? What is Gen Alpha slang? Like what is Gen Alpha slang? Like, I don't know. I'm not up on the slang. I don't know, like, hello fellow kids, like, that's me, like, I'm squarely skibbity toilet. Not the use. Oh, good Lord. Anywho, your bonus question, just like in round number 1, exclamation point, the answer. You have up until I read the answer to question number 7 to submit, and you'll be if you win, you'll be our second person who wins $5 to the Geeks Who Drink Shopatorium and entered into our big old swag prize box at the end of the night. So your bonus question is the following. Released from 1992 to the present, I've read all of these. There's hundreds. Night of the Living Dummy, Say Cheese and Die, R.L. Stine does not miss. Anyway, one more time. Question 1992 to present. I've read all of these. There's hundreds. Night of the Living Dummy, Say Cheese and Die, R.L. Stine does not miss. If Gen Alpha says R.L. Stine does not miss, I swear to Bob Dylan. Like, I swear. All right, let's like folks are submitting those correct answers. Remember, submit before I read the answer to round number 7 to get in on the action. Now, how about we go over those answers for round number 3, reading Gravity's Rainbow. For question number 1. The year is 1851. It was boring. There was a cool whale on the cover, but they gave up after Call Me Ishmael. He was talking about Moby Dick. For question number 2, the year is 1818. And I thought the zombie monster would be ripping arms off, but he just talked about some boring book called Paradise Lost and then ran to the North Pole. We're talking about Frankenstein. For question number 3, the year is 1949. Scary book about the ancient past. The title just means 40 years ago, and Big Brother may be watching you. No, we don't mean CBS. We mean 1984. For question number 4, the year is 1915. Gregor Samsa is so whiny. Being a giant bug would be awesome. Next person who tries to give me cooties is getting tackled by a cockroach. That is the Metamorphosis. And if you follow us on the Facebooks at Geeks Who Drink, that was the answer of the day. For question number 5, it's 1813. Elizabeth, Jane, Mary, Catherine, Lydia. You couldn't keep up with all them names, but they should have given Mr. Darcy a jetpack. Then he would have a book. That's Pride and Prejudice. For question number 6, the year is 1951. This book is about a phony. You never saw such a phony in your life. Holden Caulfield smoking his ears off and talking about himself so everybody could hear and know how sharp he is. That is a Catcher in the Rye. For question number 7, the year is 1952. This is such a bad supervillain book because if no one could see me, I'd go wherever I want and steal cool stuff, not meditate on how one must wear metaphorical masks to conform to society as a black man, aka code switching. That is the Invisible Man. And for question number 8, the year is 1605. This guy is such a wimp. I destroy a windmill. Come on, Sancho. Should have brought some M80s and then we'd load that sucker up and boom! And Don Quixote. Oh, man. Alrighty, now that we're done with the answers, let's boogie on bounce over to the bonus question once again. From 1992 to the present, they've read all of them. There are hundreds. Knights of the Living Dummy, Say Cheese, R.L. Stein got the Riz, fam. That is Goosebumps. Oh, God. I know. I'm officially as out of touch as my parents were when I was a child. Okay. That's right, because this time it's around on garish toys. What makes them garish? We'll find out. For question number 1. A Barbie in the extra fancy line comes with a pleather dress, and disturbingly, a dog dyed what predictable color? Don't hate the player, hate the game. And then and if you're on the governing body, then you just go and change the rules, and then you was like, don't hate the game, hate the player. I don't know. Around on the Robert Altman film. Oh, that would have been cool. All right. Oh, man. Taking me back to my childhood with question number 2. The 1996 Christmas season saw a clerk trampled and 2 women arrested for brawling in a frenzy for what giggling a Sesame Street doll? Have you ever seen just the nuts and bolts of this one? Nightmare fuel. Just saying. There we go. Yeah, the great Gabo. I like it. I like it. Gang. And for question number 3, can you believe they got a season 2? I don't know. Available in Master Chief Green, the 24-volt Power Wheels Warthog is for very young, very rich fans of what alien blasting game franchise? Abby Cadabby's a pet rock. Oh, man. Yeah, all these seem okay. No, a Power Wheels Warthog is kind of garish. Although when I was a kid, I did want a Power Wheels, but my parents didn't have the money for that, or they thought I was just gonna break it. Who knows? Golden Eye is greater. Hey, no answers in the chat. No answers in the chat. Alrighty, but you got one out. I get it. Does it have a working machine gun? I hope not. Anyway, moving on to question number 4. Sold at auction for as much as $12,000, a purple Beanie Baby commemorating Princess Diana naturally has what flower on its chest? If it had a Nerf gun on the back, that was the turret, that would be a thing. Could they make it large enough and sturdy enough that it could carry to, I don't know, how much you kids weigh? 45 to 60 pounds or something? I don't know. Maybe. That'd be cool. But I digress. Moving on to question number 5 of round number 4. Don't hate the player. You get a fake marble casket for Empress Mumtaz with the 2,000 piece Lego that replicates what Agra mausoleum? Another answer in the chat. Y'all going hard with these answers in the chat. It's just telling Mrs. TGG about how fervent the fan base still is for GoldenEye nearly gasped 30 years on because we watched GoldenEye this weekend. I remember, I think GoldenEye had to be the first 007 film I saw in theaters. I think it came out when I was 9 or 10, so I was really into it because he had to go up against 006, and I was like, ooh, a bad secret agent? Fun. Also, Sean Bean dies at the end. Spoiler alert. All right, moving on to question number 6. For the 2010 FIFA World Cup, Szymanski made a soccer ball studded with over 9,000 likely problematic diamonds from what country? Darlene died silent. Oh, what? See, and also at the age that I saw GoldenEye, I didn't even know who Sean Bean was. I just thought he was like some random dude. I should go watch that again. Because my other distinct memory was being the little chaos gremlin I can be sometimes. My friend's mom took us and a bunch of folks, and I added gummy bears to the popcorn. Then she reached in, she's like, what is that here? I was like, sorry. Oh, chaos gremlin Chaz. Anyway, moving on to our penultimate question of round number 4. Question number 7. Pretty much what it sounds like. Bejeweled Furby was studded with the signature crystals of what Austrian company that made chandeliers for The Great Gatsby? Sheen Bean. And an over 9,000 job. I love it. All soccer balls are toy because soccer is a sport for children. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, moving on to question number 8, your final question of round number 4. She's got 400 million Instagram followers and her own celebrity Bratz doll, and she lied about being a billionaire one time. Which Jenner is that? This soccer boy ball is a toy. How dangerous. Oh my goodness. Did it come with a copy of the book? Who knows? Who knows? Alrighty. That brings us to the end of round number 4. That means we've got another bonus question coming at you, the 3rd out of 5. Same rules as before, exclamation point, the answer. If it's more than one word, you gotta put them together as one string. I'm gonna read it twice and then go over the answers. You have up until I read the answer to question number 7 to submit. Alright, ready, set, let's go. In 2022, a Londoner spent a few $1,000s making dog toys shaped like what Tory Prime Minister who rudely resigned before the toys could hit the market? Or your bonus question once again, in 2022, a Londoner spent a few $1,000s making a dog toy shaped like what Tory Prime Minister who rudely resigned before the toys could hit the market? And it looks like we've got some correct answers coming down the pipeline. Submit them up before question number 7 is answered to get in on the action. So let's put you on bounce to your answer for round number 4. Don't hate the player. For question number 1, a Barbie in the extra fancy line comes with a pleather dress, and disturbingly, a dog dyed what predictable color? That is pink or hot pink. Or question number 2, the 1996 Christmas season saw a clerk trampled and 2 women arrested for brawling in a frenzy for a Tickle Me Elmo doll. Question number 3, available in Master Chief Green, the 24-volt Power Wheels Warthog for the very young, rich fans of Halo Combat Evolved. 4. Question number 4. Sold at auction for as much as $12,000, a purple Beanie Baby commemorating Princess Diana naturally has a rose on it. A white rose, to be specific. For question number 5, you get a fake marble casket for Princess Mumtaz in the 2,000-piece Lego that replicates the Agra Mausoleum, the Taj Mahal. For question number 6, for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, Szymanski made a soccer ball studded with over 9,000 likely problematic diamonds from South Africa. For question number 7, pretty much what it sounds like, Bejeweled Furby was studded with the signature crystals of the Austrian company Swarovski. Oh my gosh. I try my best. More words like that always trip me up. And question number 8, she's got 400 million Instagram followers in her own celebrity brat style, and she lied about being a billionaire one time. The Jenner we're talking about is Kylie Jenner. Zana Clark was trampled in slut-shaming Scooby Snacks? What? Anywho, and her bonus question once again. In 2022, a Londoner spent a few $1,000s making dog toys shaped like Liz Truss. And who is our winner this time? On the round, Catherineception is a big old happy birthday to Canadian-American treasure Catherine O'Hara. Name these movies and TV shows she's lending her brand of hilarity to. See you when we get back.
Now, Lydia, favor us about your ghosts.
No. I am sick of that subject.
Oh, Delia, lighten up.
I would rather talk about
Hello, Mother.
Where's my little ring?
Wednesday still hasn't arrived. We agreed to come up here for tea and seance, and now it seems she stood me up.
Morticia, can you hear me?
You're not doing it right.
Just
Press that button.
I did.
play a game called Tiger, Rockstar, Bunny.
I got this. Marry the tiger, kill the bunny.
That's not my game. When I call out Tiger, you will become a ferocious tiger. And when I call out Rockstar, you will be a major rocker. And when I call out Bunny, you will be
halfway home. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. But don't forget that we don't have a pre.
With your fancy optometry degree and weird hypnosis thing. Well, I don't need a partner. I was better off alone, where my plots were simple and straightforward and didn't involve any high-concept science fiction gimmicks.
Are you breaking up with me again?
No, I'm breaking up with you. Again.
You're being insensitive.
The book is phenomenal, sweetie, but
What happens next?
It's called a cliffhanger, Mother.
Ellie, it's called a cop-out.
But say, I wonder, do we have time for that coffee?
What time is it?
What time is it? Haven't you been paying attention? It's midnight at the Oasis. Oh, thank you.
Good.
That was great. Really good.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming.
Come taste the difference good fruit can make in your wine. You'll remember the experience, and you'll remember the name, Herb Ervlinger, Bert Herngreif, Irv Herblinger, Bing Livehanger, Liveling, Bert Herkern.
I'm sick of that subject.
Oh, Delia, lighten up.
I would rather talk about
Hello, Mother.
Where's my different ring?
Wednesday still hasn't arrived. We agreed to come up here for
When I call out tiger, you will become a ferocious tiger. And when I call out rockstar, you will be a major rocker. And when I call out...
It didn't involve any high-concept science fiction gimmicks.
Are you breaking up with me again?
No, I'm breaking up with you. Again.
You're being insensitive.
Phenomenal, sweetie, but
What happens next? It's called a cliffhanger, Mother. Ellie, it's called a cop-out.
It's midnight at the Oasis.
Oh,
Thank you.
good. That was great.
And you'll remember the name, Herb Ervlinger, Bert Herngreif, Irv Herblinger, Bing Livehanger, Liveling, Bert Herkern.
Alrighty, folks, we are back with your answers to round number 5. Happy birthday, Catherine O'Hara. Number 1 is Beetlejuice. Number 2 is the Addams Family. Number 3 is Modern Family. Number 4 is a series of unfortunate events. Number 5 is Home Alone. Number 6 is Argyle. Number 7 is Waiting for Guffman. And number 8 is Schitt's Creek. It's Ariana 3 times when she show up. But maybe if you say Trice 3 times and you go to tricegame.com for a new question every day, maybe that'll come up. I don't know. Anyway, shameless plug aside, let's move on over to round number 6, your penultimate round on tonight's quiz, called Not for Nothing. Because every answer to these 2-part questions begins with an N. Answer both parts for a point each. No penalty for wrong guesses. Yes, rest in peace, Fred Willard. I do want to see Argyle though. I heard it got bad reviews, but I don't care. It got Dua Lipa and it got the other actor's name who was also in Spider-Man 3, who I can't remember, but I love her. Anyway, now that we know the rules, let's get into question number 1. What company was founded in Kyoto in 1889, 94 years before its first video game console? For your second point, what company was founded in Tokyo in 1917, 31 years before its first camera? Bryce Dallas Howard. Yep, gang, baby, gang. Bryce Dallas Howard all day, baby. Trio Chica. Who is Trio Chica? Topo Chico? Topo Chico's the shit. I don't care what no one says. Topo Chico is the shit. Don't sleep on it, y'all. Alrighty, moving on to question number 2. Paramount owns what 45-year-old channel, the first cable outlet for kids? And Paramount also owns what preschooler streaming service co-founded by MTV and the Sesame Workshop? Yeah, I never watched that second one as a kid, but I did watch it as a teen. But it wasn't called that. After a certain time block. If you know, you know. James Franco. I don't like James Franco's creepy ass. No. No. That's why I said Spider-Man 3 specifically, because she was only in all those Spider-Man. She was only in Spider-Man 3. Right? Like, Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie, sure. But Bryce Dallas Howard is a gem in any movie she's in. I might have a crush. Who knows? Moving on to question number 3. In a 2004 indie film, what was the first name of Kip Dynamite's little brother? And what's the last name of the peace-loving Swedish chemist who invented dynamite? Only the Venom parts were bad. Hey, you know what? One of my favorite YouTube channels called Overly Sarcastic Productions. They kind of do these detailed diatribes, like, and they went over Spider-Man 3, and they were like, yeah, there's some good parts in it, right? So, damn, the shade is real. The shade is real. Run for cover, y'all. You won't get any sunburn with all the shade being thrown in the chat today. Alrighty, moving on to question number 4 of round number 6. The main characters in They Live is named for what Spanish word for nothing, and what Latin word for nothing lent its name to the philosophy of Bunny Lebowski's friends? SPF GWT. I mean, there was some parts of the movie that didn't have Venom. Like, let's not forget about that whole Sandman subplot. Like, is it a subplot? And remember, like, that creepy dancing scene with emo Peter? Like, yeah, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm emo Peter. Oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah. Now I want an omelet. Damn, stop making me hungry, y'all. Anyway, you know what's not hungry? Question number 5, or maybe it is. I don't know. Planet Money and Up First are podcasts from what nonprofit? And for the second point, what podcast is hosted by 6'3" Jason Kelsey and 6'5" Travis Kelsey? T Swizzle not included. Anyway. But I do listen to Up First fairly often. Like, I've been starting, like, during my workday just to listen to NPR in the background. I feel like a real ass adult now sometimes when I do that. And I was listening to a radio station that's based out of here in Seattle, and they were having one of their pledge drives, and woo, it was an event. Like, I forgot how, like, pledge drives be for radios that needs the monies. Anyway, I digress. For question number 6. The witch's concoction in Macbeth includes eye of what cliche critter? And John Keats wrote a famous poetic ode to what sweet singing birds? Donor exclusive tote bag, baby. This time they were saying for 45 minutes only, you can get a soccer scarf that says you are not alone. Like, and I'm like, am I going to bring that to the next time I go see Dear Evan Hansen? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, no, it was very interesting because I went out with some friends last night celebrating a birthday, and I have extra alarms, and my alarm that plays that radio station came on, and I'm just sitting in my bed like, oh my god, this energy is too much right now. But I'm also like, it feels like a train wreck, like I just can't look away. Nothing against them, like they were just doing their jobs. The loneliest radio station in the PNW. No, I was listening to KEXP. No, if only. I've never heard of KLNLY. But hey, I might need to check it out. Anywho, moving on to your penultimate question in this penultimate quiz round. Question number 7. Cary Grant is mistaken for a secret agent in what crop dusting Hitchcock thriller? And Grant actually is a government agent working in Rio in what 1946 Hitchcock film? Hey, lonely. Oh man. Yeah, I'm always like, I only ever hear the radio when I'm in a lift and somebody is playing it in a lift. And I've taken, like, the last time I took a lift to a doctor's appointment early in the morning, and one of the local radio stations has like kind of those like shock jock sort of things, but they were doing this thing where it's like, I don't know if I like this guy, like, and so I want you to call him and see if you like it's very weird. I was like, well, you know, I think a lot of local radio stations do that, and it was, I didn't get to finish it to see if like she found out if the guy really liked him, but it was this whole like, well, I'm getting married, but I might have a crush on him, and I want to see if he has a crush on me, but like it was very weird. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Moving on to question number 8, your final question in round number 6. The Ferrara Candy Company makes what tooth-breaking taffy that can be eaten whenever you like? And Ferrara also makes a Baby Ruth, which is peanuts, caramel, chocolate, and what? What is me when I take off my glasses? Their glasses. I'm non-binary. But anyway, but I don't know. When I take off my glasses, everything just looks blurry. Like, I can't see anything. Well, it's more like never fucking ever. Gross. No, you're fine. You're fine. Most people don't know. I usually don't make a big deal out of it. But I do need to like cross something out from a dodgeball prize I got. Because I was like, no. But anyway, I digress. We've done all 8 questions. That means it's time for your penultimate bonus question on tonight's quiz. As always, exclamation point to it plus the answer to submit. If it's more than one word, make sure it's one string. Up until question number 7's answer is read to submit. We'll do it twice. Let's boogie on bounce to it. The 2010 New Now Next Awards were co-hosted by what on-theme performer who recently won an Emmy for playing Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbor? Your bonus question one more time. The 2010 New Now Next Awards were hosted by what on-theme performer who recently won an Emmy for playing Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbor? I was about to say who? Okay, because I was about to send you some other clues, like don't let the claws come out, and maybe they're a rookie, but for the feds. Anyway, y'all got it. So let's boogie on bounce to your answers for round number 6. Not for nothing. For question number 1, The company that was founded in Kyoto in 1889, 94 years before their first video game console, that's Nintendo. And the company founded in Tokyo in 1917, 31 years before their first camera, is Nikon. For question number 2, Paramount owns the 45-year-old channel, being the first cable outlet for kids, that's Nickelodeon. And Paramount also owns the preschooler streaming service co-founded by MTV and the Sesame Workshop, Noggin, which I used to watch the end when I was a teenager because that had Degrassi, The Next Generation. And it also had Aubrey Graham before it became Drake. But I digress. Moving on to question number 3. In a 2004 indie film, what is the first name of Kip Dynamite's little brother? That's Napoleon. And what is the last name of the peace-loving Swedish chemist who invented dynamite? That is Nobel. For question number 4, the main character in They Live is named for what Spanish word for nothing? That is nada. And the Latin word for nothing that lent its name to the philosophy of Bunny Lebowski's friends is nihil, for nihilism or nihilism. Moving on to question number 5. Planet Money and Up First are podcasts on NPR. And what podcast is hosted by 6'3" Jason Kelsey and 6'5" Travis Kelsey? That is New Heights. Nickelodeon. Okay. Just going back to Nickelodeon real quick. Did you know that Nick Arcade and Nickelodeon got thrown on Paramount Plus now? You're welcome. Okay. Moving on to question number 6. The witch's concoction, Macbeth, includes eye of what cliche critter? That is newt. And John Keats wrote a famous poetic ode to what sweet singing birds? Those are nightingales. For Legend of the Hidden Temple is on there too. Anyway, I wish I was too young to be on most of those shows, to be honest with you, because they had teenagers and I was a child when those shows were on. But I digress. Moving on to question number 7. Cary Grant is mistaken for a secret agent in what crop dusting Hitchcock thriller? That is North by Northwest. And Grant actually is a government agent working in Rio in the 1946 Hitchcock classic Notorious. For question number 8, the Ferrara Candy Company makes what tooth-breaking taffy that can be eaten whenever you like? That is now and later. And Ferrara also makes Baby Ruth, which is peanuts, caramel, chocolate, and nougat. Boom. All right, and now we're going back to the bonus question. In 2010, New Now Next Awards were co-hosted by the on-theme performer who recently won an Emmy for playing Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbor. That is Niecy Nash. It's the final round of random knowledge, where even number questions are worth 2 through 4 points, and odd number questions are worth 1. And if it was a live quiz, I tell you to circle that Joker if you haven't already. But we haven't used pen and paper in a while, so click that checkbox for the Joker, if you know what I mean. Anyway, for question number 1 of this random knowledge final round, steak sandwiches, wood-fired pizzas, and even a functioning ice cream machine, true facts, are all available at what chain's epic Orlando location? Then you did it just one time. No, they're a tart. Ah! And the brick has dropped, y'all. A little brick has dropped. Gang, gang. I love it. Alrighty, moving on to question number 2. This one is worth 2 points. During the making of The Two Popes, Netflix took 10 weeks to recreate what Vatican landmark? Fancy ceiling included. And forget it, the last film Jack Nicholson directed was The Two Jakes, a weak sequel to what 70s noir classic? And now for question number 3, your favorite question of the night, the anagram question. Known for his line of shampoos, what legendary British hairstylist anagrams to ass vindaloos? I mean, is that something he would say at his local curry joint? Like, maybe? Oh. What? They made a movie about that Spin Doctor song. What? A name like that doesn't look good. I mean, once you get it, you'll know. Oh, the two popes. Oh, I didn't know that was a Spin Doctor song. I have definitely suffered from some Vindaloo ass. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, and we'll move on over to question number 4. Simple, a yes or no, worth 3 points. Were they ever a practicing lawyer? Michelle Obama, Mahatma Gandhi, John Grisham. Oh, Two Princes is the song. But that was done by the Spin Doctors? I always think of Two Princes as another song, though. Like a 90s gem, but I could be wrong. 1, 2 popes kneel before you. Okay. Moving on to question number 5. As a New Year's treat, Starbucks is dropping a new braised pork latte exclusively in what country? Who at Starbucks corporate thought this was a good idea? This is very much one of those just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, not need a fuck. Anyway, when I first read this, when I was reading the quiz today, I just had to stop. Like, I was just like, what? Like now I do kind of want like braised pork though, like, or like just, I don't know, like a really good like pork stock, but that just means I want tonkotsu or like ramen, not whatever this is. Like first you add an olive oil to coffee, now you're doing braised pork to a latte. Who's in your R&D department? Anyway, I mean, they're located in the city, so I could probably like go there and ask who's in your R&D department, but I won't. It's not that big a deal. All right, moving on to question number 6 for 3 points. I'll give you a woodsy episode and a year. You name the TV show. Your first one is Pine Barrens in 2001. Your next one is Survivor Man in 2007. And lastly, The Gang Gets Stranded in the Woods in 2010. New LaCroix flavor just ham water? No, not ham. No, nope. No, stop the cap. No ham water. Nah. Like, if you render down some pork bones, like, you know, and you get like that good richness, like all the gelatin from like a long and slow, like skimming all the, like, you know, all the fat off of it, so you can make a really good like stock to put with your ramen. I fucks with that. But not whatever the hell that is, Starbucks anyway. I'm broken because of that. Like why Geeks? Why did you have to tell me that exists? Why? Skim the pork gelatin sounds boring. Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving on to your penultimate question on tonight's quiz. I'll count on the bonus. Question number 7. Besides the arena sharing Clippers and the Lakers, only 2 NBA teams play within 5 miles of each other. Name either one. Like, I did buy a mini slow cooker because I wanted to just make like small batches of things. And now I kind of want to like just start doing like a nice low and slow stock because, so I think I mentioned it on here before. I don't know why I was about to call this a podcast, like, but I digress. That was Sun Noodle has these frozen ramen making kits, and I really like it when instead of adding water to like the little packets they give you, add chicken stock. But I found like if I want to get ready-made stock in the supermarket, there's no pork stock. But I really like a tonkotsu ramen, so maybe I'm gonna make my own pork stock and then add it to that set so I can make like really good ramen. I also want to make char siu, maybe, but I heard that's a process. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on over to question number 8, your final question on tonight's quiz. For related points, Uber's app lets you rent scooters from what company? For your second point, Disneyland and Florida's Magic Kingdom are in counties with what name? For your third point, Standard Chinese is a form of what specific language? And finally, what word is missing from this famous 1960s Volkswagen ad? Oh, Better Than Bullion makes a pork base. Ooh, let me find out. All right, I'm going to try that. That might be the move. Like, but if I add that to chicken stock, is that blasphemy? Like, I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna have to try both. Anyway, if you have a fancy supermarket near you and you want to get super fancy or Sun Ramen noodle kits, you should, because Sun Ramen is like the chief ramen maker here in the US. Just saying. All right, and now we're going to move on to our final bonus question on tonight's quiz. As always, exclamation point for the answer. You've got until I read the answer to round question 7 to submit. I'll read it twice, and then we'll boogie on down to the answers to the final round. Your bonus question is the following. Let's end on a high squeaky note. And that's, what's the only noble gas that doesn't end in O-N? Or on? One more time. Let's end on a high squeaky note. What's the only noble gas that doesn't end in on? It looks like, y'all know what y'all talking about. So let's get into those answers for random knowledge. Question number 1, steak sandwiches, wood-fired pizzas, and a functioning ice cream machine are all available at McDonald's Epic Orlando location. I wonder if that ice cream machine isn't proprietary and that's why it works all the time. Maybe. For question number 2, for 2 points, during the making of The Two Popes, Netflix took 10 weeks to recreate the Vatican landmark, the Sistine Chapel. And the last film Jack Nicholson directed was The Two Jakes, a weak sequel to Chinatown. For question number 3, known for his line of shampoos and not his cooking skills, the legendary British hairstylist that anagrams from Ass Vindaloos is Vidal Sassoon. For question number 3, for 3 points, were they a practicing lawyer? Michelle Obama, Mahatma Gandhi, and John Grisham are all practicing lawyers. Now you know. For question number 5, as a New Year's treat, Starbucks is dropping a new braised pork latte. Oh, what? In China. Still, but why though? Anyway, for question number 6, for 3 points, I'll give you a woodsy episode in a year. You name the TV show. Pine Barrens in 2001, that is The Sopranos. Survivor Man in 2007, that's The Office. And the gang gets stranded in the woods in 2010 is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. For question number 7, besides the arena-sharing Clippers and Lakers, the only two NBA teams that play within 5 miles of each other are the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. And question number 8, 4 related points. Hope it doesn't get too acidic for you. Uber's app lets you rent scooters from what company? That is Lime. Disneyland and Florida's Magic Kingdom are in counties with what name? That is Orange. Standard Chinese is a form of Mandarin. And what word is missing from the famous 1960 Volkswagen? And that would be lemon. Yes, those are all citrus fruits. So now you know. And your bonus question once again. Let's end on a high squeaky note, because the only noble gas that doesn't end in on is helium. Braised B2 pork.